In 1772, Captain James Cook left on his second voyage around the world. He and his crew would spend 3 years at sea, traveling a very brutal and desolate ocean. At the end of that 3 years, an amazing thing happened. Not one of his sailors died of scurvy. That was almost unheard of. Sailors had been killed by scurvy for centuries. It was so common in those days that ships would budget extra sailors knowing that a bunch would die on their journeys. So what was Captain Cook's secret? Sauerkraut, fermented cabbage, 77 barrels of it, a brassica. He had stocked his ship with it before he left England, and he forced his sailors to eat it, whether they wanted to or not. The vitamin C in that fermented cabbage kept his sailors alive through 3 years and almost 70,000 miles at sea. Cabbage is part of one of the most interesting plant families in gardening. Cabbage, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, kale, kohlrabi, they all originated from one wild plant. And through thousands of years of human cultivation, they became what we grow and eat now. And today, we're growing them right here in Zone 4 from seed. Hi, I'm Carol from Almost 2 Acres. Let's grow brassicas.
Here's the core challenge with broccoli, cabbage, and Brussels sprouts in Zone 4. They need a long growing season to mature, but they also need to be harvested before summer heat arrives, or in the case of Brussels sprouts and cabbage, before hard fall frost. The math only works if you give them a head start indoors. If you waited to direct sow brassicas into the garden in late May when the soil is warm, your broccoli would be trying to form heads in July heat. Broccoli hates heat. It bolts, meaning it rushes into flowering, and you end up with loose, yellow, bitter heads instead of tight, green, beautiful ones. Starting indoors in mid-March gives you transplants ready to go into the ground in late April or early May. Those transplants then mature during the cool weeks of late spring, which is exactly what they want. You're working with the season in a permaculture fashion instead of against it. What varieties should you grow in Zone 4? For broccoli, look for varieties with short days to maturity. Under 70 days is ideal for Zone 4. Bellstar and Calabrese are reliable performers with good side shoot production after you harvest the main head. Premium crop is a classic that's been growing in Midwest gardens for decades. If you want something a little different, Romanesco is a stunning Italian heirloom with a swirling fractal head. It takes a bit longer, but it's beautiful and worth trying at least once. For cabbage, early Jersey Wakefield is a Zone 4 favorite. It matures early, forms a pointed head, and handles spring cold beautifully. Stonehead is compact and early, good for smaller beds. For red cabbage, Ruby Perfection does well in cool northern climates. If you're interested in making sauerkraut, and given what we just learned about Captain Cook, maybe you should be, any dense, full-size green or red cabbage works well. Brussels sprouts. These are the longest season brassica and also the trickiest to grow in Zone 4, but they are absolutely doable. Jade Cross and Franklin are the varieties I'd recommend for short season climates. Start them in mid-March, get them in the ground early, and they'll reward you with sprouts that sweeten after fall frost, which in Zone 4 happens right on schedule. Here is the timing for starting strong transplants indoors. Mid-March to early April is your window for Zone 4. That gives you 6 to 8 weeks of indoor growing time before transplanting in late April to mid-May. Don't start earlier than mid-March. Brassica seedlings grow quickly, and if you start them in February, you'll have big, leggy, root-bound plants with nowhere to go. About containers and soil. Use cell trays or small plug trays with good seed starting mix. Sow 2 seeds per cell about 1/4 inch deep. Brassica seeds germinate fast, often in just 4 to 7 days, and the seedlings emerge looking sturdy and confident right from the start. Once seedlings are up, thin to 1 per cell by snipping the weaker seedling at the base with scissors. Lighting is critical. Brassica seedlings need a lot of light, and a sunny window almost never provides enough in March in Zone 4. Without sufficient light, seedlings get tall and spindly, what gardeners call leggy, and leggy transplants never fully recover. If you have grow lights, this is exactly when to use them. Keep lights 2 to 4 inches above the tops of the seedlings and run them for 14 to 16 hours a day. Air movement is also important. For strong air movement, run a small fan near your seedlings for an hour or two each day. Moving air builds stronger stems. The slightest stress of wind causes the plant to produce stronger cell walls. This is called thigmomorphogenesis, which is a word I mainly bring up because it's extremely satisfying to say. The practical result is stocky, sturdy transplants instead of floppy ones. If your seedlings are getting big and their roots are visible at the bottom of the cells before it's time to transplant outside, pot them up into larger containers. A solo cup or 4-inch pot works fine. Don't let them get root bound. A brassica that's been stuck in a small cell too long gets stressed and may bolt early. Before your indoor grown transplants go in the ground, they need to spend about 7 to 10 days transitioning to outdoor conditions. Start with an hour or two in a sheltered spot out of direct afternoon sun. This is called hardening off. Gradually increase outdoor time and sun exposure each day. By the end of the week and a half, they should be spending full days outside. Brassicas are more cold tolerant than most transplants, so this process is less stressful for them than, say, for tomatoes. But that doesn't mean you should skip it entirely. Going from a warm grow room directly into a windy, sunny garden bed is a shock to any plant. In Zone 4, aim to transplant in late April to mid-May for broccoli and cabbage. Brussels sprouts should go out on the earlier end of that window, late April if possible, because they need every day of growing season they can get. Plant transplants at the same depth they were growing in their cells, or just slightly deeper. Space broccoli 18 inches apart, cabbage 12 to 18 inches depending on head size, and Brussels sprouts 18 to 24 inches. They get tall and need room. Water in well after transplanting and keep the soil consistently moist for the first week while they establish. The two biggest pest problems for brassicas in Zone 4 are flea beetles and cabbage worms. The larva of the cabbage white butterfly, that pretty little white butterfly that floats around your garden looking innocent. Flea beetles chew tiny shotgun hole patterns in leaves, especially on young transplants. Cabbage worms eat from the inside of heads and are frustrating to find at harvest. The organic solution that actually works is row cover, a lightweight floating fabric you lay directly over the plants right after transplanting. It lets in light and water, but keeps flying insects from landing on the plants to lay eggs. No eggs, no larvae, no damage. Leave the row cover on until the plants are well established and large enough to handle a little pest pressure, or keep it on all season if flea beetles are a serious problem in your garden. You then don't need to spray anything. You don't need to check for eggs. You just cover them and let them grow. If you would like to look at row covers and other products talked about in this video, have a look at my affiliate links below. Now let's talk harvest. For broccoli, harvest the main head of broccoli when it's fully formed and tight. The individual buds should be small and dark green, not starting to separate or show any yellow. Cut at a diagonal about 6 inches below the head, then leave the plant in the ground. Most varieties will produce small side shoots from the leaf axils for weeks after the main head is cut. Those side shoots are delicious and extend your harvest significantly. Harvest cabbage when the head feels firm and solid when you squeeze it. A cabbage that's soft in the center isn't ready. Cut at the base with a sharp knife. If you leave the root and stem in the ground after harvesting the main head, some varieties will produce small secondary heads. It's worth trying. Brussels sprouts. Harvest individual Brussels sprouts from the bottom of the stalk upward as they reach about 1 to 1.5 inches in diameter. They should be firm and tight. In Zone 4, you'll be harvesting in September and October, and that fall frost I mentioned actually sweetens them. Cold converts starches to sugars. Pick through light frosts. Hard freezes below about 25 degrees will damage them, so harvest the rest before a serious cold snap. Here are some quick tips for brassicas. Number 1, don't start too early. Mid-March is the target. Starting in January gives you stressed, overgrown transplants with nowhere to go in a still frozen Zone 4 garden. Grow lights are worth it for brassicas. A sunny window in March in Minnesota or Wisconsin just doesn't cut it. Invest in even a basic LED grow light setup and your transplants will be noticeably better. Number 3, Brussels sprouts are a long game. They're the crop that takes the most patience in this video, 80 to 100 days from transplant. Plant them early, give them space, and leave them alone to do their work through the summer. Rotate your brassicas every year. All brassicas are in the same plant family, which means they share the same soil diseases and pests. Don't plant any of this family in the same bed 2 years in a row. Move them around the garden on a 3 to 4 year rotation. Number 5, the row cover is not optional if flea beetles have been a problem in your garden. Put it on at transplanting. It is the simplest and most effective thing you can do. There is something really satisfying about growing brassicas in Zone 4. These are vegetables that have fed people through cold climates and hard seasons for thousands of years. Captain Cook sailors, medieval European farmers. And now you're doing the same thing, starting seeds indoors in March, hardening them off in April, getting them in the ground before most people are even thinking about planting, and harvesting beautiful heads of broccoli in June and July while the rest of the garden is just getting going. That's what Zone 4 gardening looks like when you work with the season as a permaculture gardener.
In video 6 of my Seed Starting in Zone 4 series, I'm moving into warm territory. Beans, pole beans, bush beans, the whole lot. They are easy to grow, they're productive as all get out, and they taste fantastic in the middle of the winter with a cheese sauce on top. Please take a moment right now to subscribe and leave a comment. It doesn't cost you a thing, but it really helps my channel grow. Until next time, let's think about growing brassicas and perhaps even beans. Soon we'll be growing.